Good morning out there. In there out there. I'm in here with Vivi and Lammy. Out here in here. Yeah. Well, welcome to the Sentimentalist. Not allowed to be sentimental. Vivi's nose. Love that coffee. Yes, sirree. Well, we have to check our book, but oh my goodness, we have some good, terrific, and some good health news. Good morning, Mark. Tom Aaronshorst is cancer-free and home. He and Sharon had spent 4 weeks in Ann Arbor, and just so relieved, of course, in this day and age where we live with that fearful prediction all the time. Who knows, huh? And Mariana is getting moved. They get all the insurance stuff worked out to a care center just outside Detroit, closer to people, and where it's attentive to brain injuries, spinal injuries, etc. So we really hope that somehow all the red tape gets cut and things go smoothly. Do you know what we celebrated? 1959. What's that? 40, 23, 60, I don't know. But anyway, in 1963, it's the 59th, that's what it is. 59th anniversary of getting to see the 1964 Beatles, the British invasion. Oh my gosh, they hit Pittsburgh before it had a really big field, kind of arena, and it was just the Beatles, so they were in what was called the Civic Arena, seated about 12,000. Couldn't hear them at all. Girl next to my mom broke her seat. My mom leaned over to her and said, "Don't ever forget." I love that. Lately I've been missing my mom and dad. I want to talk to them. And I want to talk to them even like a son about some stuff that I don't understand. Hey, I got evangelical hate mail. How's that? From a reverend in Illinois, reverend of 3 different churches, has been, and has decided that I am against God. She wrote, there were 3 pages, one with her information, and then one with all these notes, and then a bunch of very frightening biblical passages for me to look up. And as many of you know, I was in and out of psychiatric wards for 20 years, and it all goes back to evangelical cruelty, fear, and I kept breaking down, and it was before they understood panic attacks and PTSD and all that kind of stuff. I give a little talk about it. If you go to the Douglas UCC on YouTube look for the service from last week and slide your little red dot up to about minute 20 if you want to hear me take a chance. People have been very kind in their response, other than. And part of the reason that she said I would be condemned forever to hell is that I write poems and that I worship nature and I mock God. Vivi, do you remember you and I ever mocking God? Huh? No, we kind of take God like you are doing right now. What can you do? Take a nap. Hi, God. Nice to see you. I guess that's mocking. Anyway, as I say in a poem, I like being religious without faith or doubt. And I mean it. Sip. Couldn't get over again my landscape group last night, 13 souls that write poems that everybody in the world should come in contact with. They would be moved to poignancy, and it would bring out the best. That's what I think literature does. When people even say it's depressing, I think its purpose is to bring out the best in us. To find out that inside us there's care and empathy and anger at Tommy Tuberville, maybe. I'm scared. I think I'm scared of how close we are to losing democracy. How can but the Julie's from a military family, as you know, and their idea of the military was to keep the peace. They were the most peaceful. 2 brothers and her dad, and all her grandfather was a war hero, admiral, etc., buried at the Naval Academy with great respect. But they were all peace lovers. It's complicated. And what am I getting on a soapbox for about the Congress? You know it. What I'd like to see changed is to throw away issues, things you stand for, beliefs. Look, we all have them. And just put in the word care. And look out there and see the people who need your help, Congress. They need your help. That's what it is. Whether you believe in taxes and economic plans and Bidenomics or awful Reaganomics or whatever, who started it, all the mess, care about the people. That's a democracy. Care about the people. I'm doing the crop walk. I tell people I'm going to crop walk like a heron. That's an in-joke if some of you know what it refers to. Hey, I'm number 23 in the country in raising money. The whole country, 23. It's like being ranked in the football or basketball, you know. I'm ranked 23. And that's up against some pretty big churches, you know, giant cathedrals and wow. So thank you. Thank you to every single, from $5 to oomph. Thank you. It's all beautiful and dependent on what you got in your pocket. And wow, number 23? Are you kidding? What a gift. I'm floored. And now to break into the top 10. No, we don't want to think that way. We don't want to think that way. They say young people are going to be voting. Now that would be good, because a lot of them are just fed up, whether it's climate change, abortion, women's rights. I hope they vote. I hope this survey is accurate. You know what I never knew until recently is that Julie's walking around searching for something. I don't know, maybe it's a mouse, but she's searching. Going searching. What was I about to blah about? You know what amazes me? That those of you who are out there watching are watching this. I mean, this is completely inane. Some guy has the nerve to sit here and tell you what you already know and bore you to tears with stuff that really doesn't necessarily matter. That's what's a little bit hard about doing the arts in 2023. See, Chaucer didn't have to, he didn't say, all we need is one more story, because there weren't any. But all of us artists now go, what the world needs is another painting, another poem. I tell you. No, happy Rosh Hashanah. Happy New Year. Oh, what I was amazed to learn that, how did I never think of this? The United States is founded on the rule of law, not people. See, I kept thinking all these people are ruling us. But the law is supposed to rule us, and those people are supposed to don't screw around with the law. And then it hit me, reading Heather Cox Richardson, just how radical that had to have been to say, no. Who would have thought we'd eliminate the people? Wouldn't you think they'd say, okay, who should be the equivalent of the king of the United States way back? That, it's just amazes me. Amazes me. I wish we'd get back to old school. Where I grew up in a little town. People would drop by. You didn't have to be invited. Now, nobody invites me. I didn't get invited. And I just wish I'd hear a knock at the door, and if I was busy, I'd say, hey, can you never come? No, can you come back a little later? Or come on in. Wow, cool. I'll put the coffee on. Or the tea. Did you know that yelling is worse than being cruel? I didn't know that. See, I have a hot temper. And I yelled at somebody, and there's been a lot of cruelty in response to that. So yelling's worse. Julie's still searching. Cut. Okay. Let's go to our poem. I'm so grateful to all of you. Again, gee whiz. And last night, wow. That group of people, I wish you could all tune in. It's all on Zoom, but it feels like we're just hanging out in home. And then these stunning poems and these remarkably intelligent responses to them. And it's not critique, it's ideas and responses, and look what happens if you do this, and not you should. They're so good and helpful to each other. I sound like I'm patronizing them, but I'm not. I'm celebrating them. Okay, here's our poem. It's little. It's little. It's called It Was Last Night, I think. During the storm, I wondered about gathering all the drops. From there, it took off into all this other stuff. Light on the underside of leaves, what rust peels away, the space between musical notes. I forgot what time it was. I wrote that down. When I was a kid, I loved plus signs and hummingbirds in the honeysuckle. I have jars filled with words my father left behind. Take care, be caring, try to be cheerful. Thanks.